Hey Virgo, welcome to your February 2025 weekly reading. It's going to be your reading from February 10th until the 16th. I hope you're doing well. We're just going to go ahead and get started and jump straight in here. You know what I was just thinking before I turned the camera on? Do you want to know? I was like, what's going on with Virgo, right? Like, what's going on, Virgo? We got the South Node in your sign, and then we got a full moon that's brewing this week in Leo, which will be in your 12th house. And I was like, enlightenment, right? Because the 12th house is enlightenment. It's also, the release of the old self, finding love and compassion for yourself, love and compassion for others, and being able to really work through your differences with others, and even work through your differences with yourself. Right, to where you could be definitely spiritually going through this maturity process here. Big week though, right? Oh, you haven't heard, Virgo? All right, I'll tell you. This week, stepping into the week on the 11th, I believe, we have we have Mercury square Uranus, then we have the Sun that's going to be squaring Uranus. And so expect shakeups, unpredictable things, shocks. If you have anything planned on these days, I guarantee it's not going to go that way, or something just out of the blue will happen. I guarantee it. And you come back and let me know. But also we have the full moon that's happening in Leo, and then we have Mercury coming into Pisces. So a full moon that is peaking, our emotions peaking, and then all the Uranus energy. Leo can't bring drama, especially a full moon in Leo, or pride or arrogance, or clash of personalities, egos. And with Aquarius energy, the Sun being an Aquarius, it deals with groups and people and the connectiveness of all those things. And then Taurus, our values. So I guarantee there's going to be a lot of things that happen in those areas here this week. But I don't think it's anything here to get discouraged by, right? It's like, really, you just work with the tools that are given at the moment, right? So, but your reading actually looks good. So let's pull your oracle cards and then we'll jump into it. You pulled this Uranus card that says change. See, y'all just think I'll be saying shit. I know what I'll be saying. Yeah, Uranus is all about change, sudden change, unpredictability. Uranus, when you really look at it on a humanistic level, it's where one really feels the spontaneous urge to jump into new experiences, do things they haven't done before, right? Get out of complacency, break free from tradition, doing something unconventional, right? So you can go beyond the norm, right? And really go through that process of transcendence, of becoming more. So that's what's trying to happen with the square, with the Sun square Uranus and Mercury square Uranus. Well, it's a little bit difficult. It's like we're being forced to change. There's a good quote that I heard the other day. It says, man, somebody commented, it's fucking hilarious. They said, there's one thing about Austin. He never has his quote straight. And I laughed at it and I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to get my quote straight. But there's a quote that says, I got it written down right here because that's just what I do. But I think it's going to impact you here. So whoever that person was, yeah, you fucking challenged me. All right. Hang with me, Virgo. It'll be worth it. We don't resist change. We resist being changed. And that's the vibe this week. We don't resist change. We resist being changed. So where there's going to be things that happen that maybe you're not ready for, or that you weren't expecting, and you're going to have to improvise, adapt, and overcome, or just be willing to open up and accept change. But not too much to the point to where you're, totally sacrificing yourself, right? So let's see here. You pulled this walk your own journey. It is essential to stay on your path here. Yeah. So I would stay committed to your path. Again, this Uranus energy will shake things up. Expect the unexpected. It may be minor, it may be big. It may just be you literally being like, you know what, I'm ready to fucking do this or whatever. But I think whatever it is, your path is being emphasized here, and it's important to stay on your path. So don't get discouraged here. But your reading looks good. We're going to jump into the tarot part here in a moment. You pull this illuminate the shadow, focus on a solution here. Yeah, and this could trigger some things that are hidden in the shadows, right? The subconscious, unconscious. Like even this fly is triggering me, like, you know, like. But yeah, don't let it discourage you. Just focus on the solution here. A lot of shadow work that I feel like that Virgos are doing in general. I mean, whenever the sun's in your, or the south node's in your sign, the south node pulls you inward, and it can be intense, right? Because it pulls you inward. It's the south node is more spiritual, introverted, so it pulls you to the roots of things, like having to go to the roots and understand your relationship with the past. And then not only that, the full moon that's in Leo, it's in your 12th house, which deals with the subconscious, unconscious being lit up by the full moon. So it's letting go of maybe parts of your character, right? Your advice is a strength card, or parts of, you know, old parts of yourself, or integrating parts, you know, those old parts, right? Maybe you're kind of dealing with a little bit of fragmentation. Let's jump in here. You pulled the Knight of Wands here in the position of the good stuff here. Well, one thing I see happening for you this week is a lot of exciting energy, and I think it's with that Uranus energy, and then the full moon in Leo. We got some fire. We got Aries. We got the Venus in Aries, so the full moon will be in Leo. So we have this fire energy that's happening, and so I do see this as you feeling bold, more confident, more charismatic here, and more self-determined. We haven't had any fire in the astrology, but as of the past 5 days, Venus came into Aries, and everybody's probably like, hell yeah, I feel more bold, I want to go. And then Jupiter coming direct, it's like, okay, I really want to go. You have the Hangman here for the overall energy. Yeah, and the Hangman is about enlightenment and your perception changing, you gaining a different type of awareness. And I think a lot of it's through knowledge. I think a lot of it's through learning. I think a lot of it is through your seekingness at this time, because the Hangman does hang from the tree of life, or the tree of knowledge, right? And then by doing so, he gains a different perspective, and then all of a sudden the meaning of things changes. And it's specifically with the Pisces, or specifically with Neptune and Pisces, the North Node's conjuncting it. North Node's in Pisces, Neptune being there in Pisces. Saturn's in Pisces, but it's not near that conjunction. But Pisces is about awareness and perception and meaning and reorienting yourself toward a higher spiritual ideal. So you're definitely, there's the spiritual maturity that's happening for you on these big levels. And Uranus is about, you got to look at things from all different angles, and sometimes you got to go real high to get a perspective, right? Like a hawk. And sometimes you got to drill down to get a perspective, right? Or look around all over the place. And I think that's what you're hoping for with the Page of Swords. It's just to gain the right information, to gain the right ideas, to gain the right answers here for yourself that will, you know, help you here with what you're trying to do. You have the Queen of Pentacles in your current energy at this time. I think you're very much so focused on your stability in your work, certain projects at this time. I think you're really wanting to start creating, or you could already be in that creative energy. What you have at this time, you're going to discover something more about it. So whether it's something about your career, or the work that you do, or a project, whatever the case might be, you're going to discover something more about it, which is going to help you, which is going to refine something in a better way here. You may be like, what are you talking about, Austin? Just come back and let me know, please. You have the Ace of Cups here in your challenge. And I think right now, spiritual and emotional fulfillment is something that you're trying to gain more of. I'm not saying you don't have it, but the Ace of Cups is symbolic of peace and serenity and the restoring of things. It's a blessing. It's, you know, the emotional comfort and the emotional connection, or the spiritual connection to the divine, right? The ability to be able to let go of worries and be able to rest your troubled mind. And the Strength card is your advice. It's like you're really having to tap into your inner strength. And the Strength card is also courage, and the Strength card is the archetype of Leo, and this full moon is in Leo, right? So the Leo energy is going to be prevalent this week. And Leo is all about being confident and standing firmly in your authority. And that doesn't mean to put others down or be autocratic. It's just about, you know, be confident who you are, right? Step into things with courage. Express yourself. Express your will, right? That's Leo. But that full moon being in Leo, I'm doing that because there's been a fly that I'm currently at war with. So we'll see how, we'll see. But with the strength card though, I mean, Leo does deal with, you know, with all this Aquarius energy, the sun's in Aquarius with the full moon's in Leo, right? So there's other people that we're working with, dealing with stuff with our groups and our communities, how we connect to the world. And with the full moon being in Leo, it's like having to figure out a new way to connect to things and having to have that courage to, you know, show up. You have the Seven of Cups here. Love. I'm gonna be real. Strength card, Ace of Cups being in the challenge is specifically with the Hangman, because the Hangman is the archetype of Neptune, and Neptune at its highest form of expression is selflessness and compassion, not only for yourself but for everybody else. And I think that's what you're trying to find for yourself at this time, and I think that's also what you're trying to give to the world as well and other people. And the Strength card here is symbolic of the inner strength with the Ace of Cups, the inner compassion, the inner love, right? Having to cultivate that and also express that and share that, because strength and power is not always necessarily through control or force. It can be passive and graceful. You have the Seven of Cups here in the future position. Well, there's gonna be options and choices here. I see your creativity fucking expanding here really rapidly, to where there's gonna be a bunch of different desires here and choices here that you're seeing about how you could do something. And I think it's also going to show you, I think all these things also are going to be meaningful. Like, you're going to feel connected to these things. And so it kind of reminds me of Soren Kierkegaard, his work, to where something about like anxiety or existential angst, to where the anxiety, like he basically goes on to say that like anxiety can be rooted in this fear of really the freedom that we have. But with that freedom that we have, we also have to own our choices and own our decisions with whatever happens, right? And so that can just bring a lot of anxiety and stress and worry. But I think you're starting to, you may be understanding this subconsciously or unconsciously. Not necessarily because you're thinking about Soren Kierkegaard, right? But now you're willing to step into fully the meaning, like to explore the meaning of things, right? To really make your own decisions, to make your own choices here, and to create your ideal reality, and to really step in, you know, Strength card, Leo. Like, Leo deals with freedom, right? The ability to express yourself, express your will, do what you want, have fun, create. You have the Three of Swords here in the outcome position here. Yeah, and I don't think this Three of Swords is anything new. I sense here, because you pulled Illuminate the Shadow, Focus on a Solution, that these are just past things coming up here for you with this Three of Swords that you're still working through and healing. So we'll clarify that. Let's go ahead and jump in and clarify. Clarify the Knight of Wands in the position of the good stuff here for Virgo, please. Clarify the Three of Wands, or the Knight of Wands. You pulled the Six of Cups here. This is in the position of the good stuff. So one thing I do see is healing, Six of Cups. Six of Cups is also a powerful transformation. It's the gift that comes from transformation through the struggle on your journey, right? And then you get, you know, there's these points that happen to where all of a sudden there's a blessing that happens, or there's something here that restores things. And I think what's being restored is your confidence and your self-determination. And I also want to say your sense of identity here, like your sense of self. Like, maybe you're feeling insecure, or maybe you weren't really knowing who you are, or knowing specifically, like maybe you know, maybe your identity is being challenged. I'm not sure, right? But what's happening here with the Six of Cups is there's this gift here that you're getting, and I think it's going to motivate you and inspire you. This could come through from a guide. This could literally come through just from anything. It could be a divine intervention. Clarify the Hangman for the overall energy. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles is about, I see you here, Virgo, you've been persistent, right? Knight of Pentacles is about being persistent, endurance, having to endure, weather the storms. The Hangman, right? The Hangman's Neptune, right? Neptune is Poseidon. Poseidon rules the seas, right? So the storms and not letting your boat sink. But it's through the struggle that you've also gained a lot of enlightenment and transcended a lot of things. Clarify the Page of Swords in the position of your hopes here. You have the Chariot here. I think you're just hoping here for clarity and direction. Right? The Chariot is being able to move forward, triumph, overcome challenges and struggles. And the Page of Swords is all about clarity and direction. Right? If you don't know where you're going, where are you going? Right? But when you got a map or somebody says, yeah, go down there and take a right, then take a left, right? It's like, okay. So I think that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for proper guidance, proper direction. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles in your current energy. You have the Hierophant here. Yeah, and one thing that you always have here, Virgo, because the South Node is in your sign, is that the South Node isn't always necessarily bad. The South Node helps us understand our past. So the South Node deals with tradition in the conventional way of things that we can always fall back on. But sometimes the tradition and the conventional ways, we can get too stuck and rigid with those things. And so we have to change them, right? And that would be the South Node, right? You gotta let go of it, go to the North Node and, create a future, right? Change things, make things better, or create the ideal future. But one thing you can always fall back on is your knowledge, is your skill, is your experience. Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant. And that's that South Node in your sign, right? It's like you can always fall back on your skills. Because the South Node shows you like, hey, I got these, actually I have these fucking strengths that I didn't know I had. But then also South Node shows you like, oh fuck, that's a weakness though. I gotta change that. Clarify the Ace of Cups in the challenge. You pulled the Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups here. Yeah, Two of Pentacles is learning the dance of change, right? So navigating life's changes. Eight of Cups, you could be in a transitionary period. Eight of Cups is you're really seeking the deeper meaning of things in your life, and you're really trying to evolve and grow spiritually. And that Ace of Cups being in your challenge is like trying to find that grace, trying to find that holy grail. The Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is always inward, though. It's never external. I think that's maybe something that you're learning with the South Node being in your sign, is that it's internal. That's why the South Node deals with spirituality. It's introverted. It's quiet but intense. And the North Node deals with the material, the external. So this deep self-discovery of the past and your roots and integration that's trying to happen, and discovery of past life stuff and working through past life stuff. I see it all, Virgo. You have the Page of Pentacles here in the future position. Yeah, and the Page of Pentacles with Seven of Cups would be, Seven of Cups is the vision, power of your imagination, the desire. You know, there's options, there's choices. You're realizing how important it is to use your freedom in a way in which you make the right decisions and really create the ideal life that you want. And so the Page of Pentacles is just you putting the work in, right? Page of Pentacles is about being studious and applying your effort, making things better, right? And building. Clarify the Three of Swords in the outcome position. You pulled the Four of Swords and the Emperor here. Some of you could be healing. Here, Three of Swords, Four of Swords, the Emperor. You may have Aries in your chart. If you don't, have to worry about it. You know what I see you healing here? Three of Swords is Libra. It's Saturn in Libra. The Emperor is Aries. So Aries and Libra create the, the polarity of self and relationships. You're healing relationship stuff. And I think with the Four of Swords and the Emperor, it's like you're really having to get yourself in alignment, get yourself in balance for you to really be able to have, for you to really be able to bring healing into your relationships here. But you know, it's interesting too, that the Three of Swords is the card that deals with being the change that you want to see in the world. And the Four of Swords is, because this is what's behind the Three of Swords, Four of Swords, the Emperor, which is you're actually in a powerful position, right? And you could be seeing things that you don't agree with, that you fear is unjust. Three of Swords, Libra. They're unjust, they're unfair. There's no equality, it's not equal, right? Shit's off, right? It's not in balance. And I think you're here wanting to make those corrections, or wanting to be, the change in the world here that you want to see. Because maybe you've been sitting on the sidelines with certain things, or maybe wanting to say certain things or do certain things. But I think this is you getting proactive here. Clarify the Strength card. You have the Five of Swords here. Yeah, your advice here is to be courageous. Five of Swords is about disconnecting from things that aren't in alignment with your values. But also it's about connecting to things that are in alignment with your values, and having the courage to live an authentic life and express yourself authentically, and not being afraid to maybe upset some people, right? If you have different views or values, right? But to waver and to not be authentic, right? Not, to go along with everything, but you don't really agree with it, or to not be your true self, then you would be living, that would just create misery and make you feel very disconnected from yourself. Clarify the Eight of Wands in the position here. You have the Knight of Swords here. It's in the position of something you're unaware of that you need to be aware of here. Yeah, Knight of Swords, Eight of Wands is the height of ambition, positivity, expansion, growth. It's about setting your targets and aiming for them. It's about what's off in the distance. The broader, lofty goals that you have, like, aim for them. Don't cap yourself here. Knight of Swords says, this reminds me of like the Gemini Sag energy. Maybe some of you have Sag in your chart, or Gemini possibly. That, like, Sagittarius is the archer, right? And so the target that's off in the distance, right? The archer. But Gemini is, it deals with the skill. So you're learning the skill, right? So, but you may not have the skills right now, and maybe you're refining your skills, but don't, whatever those shortcomings are, don't be like, oh, well, that's just where I suck and I won't be able to get better, or this, or to become discouraged, right? Knight of Swords, Eight of Wands is, no, I'm going to strive for this big, broad, lofty thing, right? The goals that I have, ambitions that I have, and I'll learn along the way. But I'm going to take action, Knight of Swords, right? And figure it out. So, that's a powerful read, Virgo. So I'm going to leave your reading here. If you want to book a personal reading with me, I highly suggest it, especially if you're struggling, or if you just need clarity on your path, or going in a certain direction, or if you're just looking for confirmation or any specific question that you have, I'm here for you. If you want to book a reading, the link will be down below in the description. And yeah, of course, I encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell as well. And otherwise than that, Virgo, I'm wishing you the best, and I will see you later.